Welcome everyone to our fun Linux live streams here. So that probably mind fully. Some notes, quick notes, as the title says. Previous video I spoiled that another video already. Now rocking here this 5950X, some full review coming soon. As per usual, takes some days and actually freaking testing it. But so far, epic thread ripping and obviously amazing. One note though, and we will of course do our own quick little Linux distribution coding here. Quick note, I also forgot to paste this to the Discord. Obviously, as you probably heard on YouTube, Ryzen Zen 2 and 3 certainly want really fast memory. They are really 32 freaking threads, obviously, right? So I'm running here some Corsair memory, previous video from last what time flies. Anyway, this largest consumer memory module, 32 gigs, and not the fastest. They are only rated 3000, but I'm freaking overclocking them 400 megahertz. Yes, that is a thing. And just for the quick test, also by the way shown in the Steam ID code, so you're not making this stuff up 3400 megahertz as seen in previous videos. And that certainly gives quite some performance boost, to no one's surprise. And today, quickly in the lunch break, just for the test of it, because this here are Corsair current speed, what, no, this here, Corsair, you've got this here part number or whatever, and they're rated 3000. I'm freaking massively overclock them, and surprisingly stable and certainly faster. And one shout out, the year before I have also rated 3200 G-Skill stuff, and by the way, there was a stupid plastic on them. I really wonder why do they put this bloody plastic on top of the... It only insulates them. Right? Just clip this off. Looks even better without this bloody red plastic, and maybe makes them 1 Kelvin or centigrade Celsius less hot for better air circulation, obviously. But so these things there in the server are rated 3200 from another 6-7 months ago, and I thought, yeah, maybe I can overclock them more, but no, you can't. So although those G-Skill things, previous video, 3200, they overclock worse, and this Corsair, to my surprise, I only tested this because those here were rated faster, right? This here are rated slower, but they overclock way better, so much to that thing. And yeah, this performance 6%, just even this overclock here, but this wasn't entirely stable. What I'm running now, this is reverting this. This was, I think, nearly, so how memory sensitive is this stuff? Just this tiny little timing, not even the major timings, it's just some minor timings. 38 to 37 and 56 to 55. I think it was 6%. And just, so what I'm running now so far, fingers crossed, so far stable. I'm just running DRAM RAS access time here. Actually 36, that alone is not as much, it's only some 3.5% faster. But got this for free, so far stable, fingers crossed. So yeah, just this, I'm really surprised. So how much is it? Just some random shout out here of IT Talk. This here was, I think, let's grab that. In the meantime, I said this in a previous video, pro tip, Linux pro tip here with this algorithm timing stuff. So I'm now in the meantime orienting in this. And with those timings here, DRAM RAS 37 and TRC 56, it was 4600. Actually, I think I posted this in Discord. Here between, yeah, so this was 4700. Here you have it. Crazy timing. I would never expect it. This also is a little bit Linux overclocking, state of the art goodness. So Also, wait a second. Do we look even on the same thing? RX24. No, we look at the same thing. So yeah, 4700, but it's not super entirely stable. So much to that. Also, I said it before, pro tip, maybe all this overclocking stuff a little waste of time. It always looks, recurring theme, it always looks amazing at some big YouTubers, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of, I said this before, you probably never get this time back. I mostly fiddle a lot around here for fun and hobby and YouTube and getting that. This is also, I've done this 20 years ago when people didn't even yet knew that overclocking and stuff existed. But 20 years later, I said this before, too many Maxi in this company, getting back to this DIY, building this for amazing results. Just right now for me, a little bit learning experience. What can you do with DDR4? And there, this timing is crazy. And again, so this is with, this is now with, it's a pity that this is not in DMID code, that would be amazing. So this is right now with TRC56 and DRAM RAS. Access timing here is 36. I'm a little bit surprised that just 36, yeah, but just some minor parameters. And this is 3 gigabyte per second difference, right? Crazy stuff. So people ask, say, welcome everyone, amazing that you tuned back and are members of this channel. That's certainly super amazing. Catching live stream. So yeah, welcome everyone. Infinity Fabric loves higher RAM clocks with lower latency. Yeah, latency is right now 20, so this because this is 3000 overclocked to 3400. This is unfortunately right now 2020. Probably, yeah, probably for the sake of building this channel and having stock and stuff, I probably have to shed out some more memory for 4800 something, whatever, 17 or whatever. So yeah, welcome everyone. Also, so this was a Ryzen update here. Otherwise, performance certainly super amazing. And I wanted to do one thing here live on this channel, is usually super tiny thing. So I mentioned this in a couple of videos. Those who are recurring subscribers may or probably usually not remember. Super annoying when I updated the Linux kernel some time ago, whenever that was introduced. I built my own kernel, didn't boot, as in didn't find USB, and this wasted quite some time. It turned out that some time ago, the Linux kernel developers added here to the XHCI. Also, by the way, I think that's really. They added here, so this is not the right one. They added here to the USB XHCI some firmware, some Renesas firmware, and I patched. So the issue with that is because this XHCI, which is the, let me think, USB 3, right? UHCI, OHCI, EHCI. So XHCI is obviously USB 3. And the problem is that, so this is new since 5.8 or something of that sort, some months ago. The problem with this is because it needs firmware, and we can't add all firmware and all drivers in the init because it's already super large. And maybe, by the way, I probably I didn't run Tmux apparently. The problem is the init is already not too large. I optimized this here a little bit for PS3, but I probably have to optimize this even more. Actually, I should put to the trim init RD back more, because we have a lot of modules that you will never need, certainly by default, to the init RD because I prefer a most as fully modular as possible kernel, and for that. Also for you to play along at home, to just take a T2 ISO or installation that the stuff boots, you need to have there a lot of, like you could have this SCSI or Fiber Channel or NVMe and whatnot. So we need to have a lot of stuff in there, especially in the installer CD. Even if you would argue build a custom init RD for your system, we still need a most generic init.rd with NVMe and AHCI and whatnot. The problem is it gets huge, and this is why if stuff needs firmware, then usually it's fancy stuff that few people have. So the problem was that our T2 init.rd stuff, and maybe even other distributions init.rd stuff, doesn't include the module, because it makes no sense to include the module if it needs firmware and we don't have the firmware. However, by the way, I should actually check if we have this Renesas. It's probably what was the firmware name. So what I quickly wanted to do, so sometime soon I will go through there and hopefully remove some 20-30% just to get this back to a more reasonable size. And maybe also not, for example, you don't need all the Wi-Fi module, or probably Wi-Fi needs firmware. Anyway, there's for sure a lot of stuff to delete. The reason I touched this, so what I've done in T2, I just patched this away, because who has the bloody Renesas XHCI USB 3 thing? Anyway, so what I did here is, because YOLO, whatever, 99% of the XHCI USB stuff out there, Intel, AMD, and so on, don't need this. So I just patched this away so that our init.rd stuff includes this, because then the module doesn't indicate, hey, I need firmware. So then scripts like that include this. But the only reason I touched this now is, not only do I need to maintain this, but also when I bisected the kernel stuff yesterday, I actually wasted probably 30 minutes. I was booting some kernels and they all wouldn't like boot, because, and then I also didn't have keyboard, because obviously it's XHCI, and it took me like 30 minutes like boot, and why the heck does this not work? So booting, building, wandering, and it's like, and then only like 30 minutes later it's like, this is this bloody XHCI. So only due to this I was thinking, okay, patching this is fine and stuff, but maybe not the best long-term solution. So SVNRM this, and the way I wanted to take some provisioning in mkinit.rd, and yeah, actually this is only like a one-line stuff, but with the explanation and some overview. We have here already Vital mods, for example, for the SG Octane, and ironically, Vital, I added this for this stuff that nobody has except we here on this channel. Cheers. So I was thinking, you know what, let's better just have use here. Maybe it just works, because I think so. I've done this also for including the firmware, if I remember correctly. Let's check what was used. Warning, needs firmware, or so yeah, exactly for that reason. Some nice shell hash table here, associative array, XHCI, like literally every modern system, right? And let's see XHCI, let's see lsmod, is it also named like this? Sometimes they have some other addition, like, all right, maybe this is actually XHCI, is it here. Yeah, this is also super silly that they even have their dedicated module. Let's see, mod info. Yeah, so this needs firmware, does this other why? But I guess actually they splitted that already, but now I'm a little bit confused. So maybe this is new, but it depends on Renesas. Do we? This is a little bit funny, but maybe it's still, you know what, probably it doesn't work. This is maybe if it has a hard dependency on XHCI, we can actually simply test this. What do we run now? We run 5916, because obviously previous video 5.10 has a 500 to 2000 BTRFS performance regression that I'm not overclocking my memory for having a 500 to 2000% slower BTRFS. Thank you very much. We can of course just test this mkinit RD, although we patched this away obviously. You know what, we should also, what do we have in, let's just build this, because we had run there some SVN up and stuff. So this is also the wrong one, obviously, because we messed around there. Update Linux 5.9.16, which I had just done before the video. So yeah, let's see what else comments do we have regarding DWM build package that. Sway is better here. I mean, I think everything is better than suckless software. This is so ridiculous. We don't have config files. We edit the source files. Yeah, thank you very much. Do we have boot? Yeah, so we can delete. I just sometimes delete here because I'm obviously building here too much kernels, or too many kernels. 2519. And lib modules, as you see, have I have here a couple, including this bloody Fedora kernel just for this analog video capture thing. And RM recursive, that, of course, certainly don't need each and every kernel under the sun. And also, you know, we can delete 5.10. And also here, maybe best with snapshots or BTRFS snapshots, not to delete random stuff you may need later. So yeah, hope you're all fine. How is it doing on your side? The XH, Anthony writes, XHCI update broke compatibility with USB 3 devices, no storage devices for me when using USB 3. That is interesting. Which exact update is that? Some FF asterisk society. Why are you so familiar with Linux? Because freaking 20 years. I thought you're probably not a regular yet, running here with Linux distribution for 20 years. Welcome to the club. You probably want to share, like, and subscribe for all our independent, third-party, and not related to mainstream Linux distribution stuff. Yeah, 20 years. I probably know every corner from full stack, from the Linux kernel, C library, compiler, even submitted patches to GIMP 20 years ago already, before most people knew that Linux existed. And the first Google Chrome V8 JavaScript patch, third-party patch. From me, it was a tiny one, but hey, I get the shameless self-promotion of first third-party patch in Google V8 from me, because when Google Chrome V8 was new, I downloaded it and it didn't freaking work, so I quickly patched it, submitted a patch. So yeah, I probably need some nice leadership scoreboard for all the patches upstream. So yeah, I wonder, so if this is a hard dependency, I wonder what our code is doing, because obviously this mkinit.rd stuff is a little bit simply shell scripted. So the question is actually what this code does if but you know what, I think the problem is probably we include the XHCI module and then not the XHCI Renaissance, and that then it doesn't load because it doesn't have this dependency. 5.9, let's actually see what they have done there. In driver, this is probably, is it USB XH or is it PCI XH USB? Yeah, the sorting is somewhat a little bit fishy. XHCI. By the way, I included huge page support in the last. Always looking here for some more free performance, so I slightly wonder what this performance. Also, right now we of course benchmarking his YouTube live stream running here on the same machine. Always not the very best idea. This is obviously the 3% performance we gain with huge TLB and transparent huge pages. We obviously already consume with OBS live streaming. What did I find? This is USB host, obviously. And then XHCI, do we have here? No, let's see, what have they done in the Renesas of... I mean, it's a config option, so one thing could be we just disable this bloody PCI Renesas by default, because obviously nobody has that. Wait a second, what was the... That was XHCI, PCI, does this also XH Renesas of what? This is, there's a C, so let's see what's there. Have here some Renesas stuff. Also, this is super silly, right? I said this in the other because we are still dreaming and soon continues our microkernel stuff. Annoying thing, right? This is why the only reason I'm still here on our own Linux distribution is with our microkernel we would need to copy and steal or rewrite from scratch all those drivers. And certainly we don't do this for the Renesas XHCI stuff. But this is also the annoying thing that for each, and I wish there would be more standards, not only for USB 3, but also like graphic cards. It was so nice when we only had VGA, well, when we only had VGA and EGA and CGA and Hercules. But my point is, it would be so amazing, a much more better software world, in my opinion, if all the SVGA stuff would be more compatible. Imagine there would be, instead of all the dedicated accelerators, some accelerated SVGA standard, and then some 3D if all the NVIDIA and ATI Matrox, if there would be some 3D hardware similar to USB, like all the stuff is XHCI, if there would be some VGA 3D standard, and we would need only one driver, and this would be compatible like x86 processors, that would be a really amazing parallel universe, in my opinion. So what do they do? So this is some firmware upload. What else do they have here? Set up ROMs of request firmware. So first glance, mostly firmware loading, firmware download, check running, check ROMs. They're super annoying that this needs some bloody firmware. It's like attach some, yeah, but costs, right? This 5-cent serial, expensive to include. Firmware download enable, yeah, thank you very much. It is also somewhat hilarious. Also, no, we should get this just deleted. Renesas. So if XHCI Renesas firmware probe function instead of USB core in order to create second root hub under XHCI. So here is some XHCI driver data, Renesas data of firmware. I find this a little bit, in my opinion, not very good software architecture, that this is much better. In as much as I hate hashtag Apple's macOS peak bugs and stuff, certainly still I'm up to that snuff there as well. Much better done in Darwin. You have some core driver thing and then some like C inheritance of this doesn't load then if this is compiled with XHCI Renesas. I only wonder why, but SUCXCI driver data, Renesas data. What irritates me a little bit is that, you know what, maybe, but this is a little bit strange. Yeah, users to we got this deleted below us. Mod info, let's try that again. Also build time, do we care, something, whatever. Mod info. Ah, yeah, right, we had this patched away, this is why. So now we get a better result. We only didn't got the result because, as you have seen, we patched this away. This is why this irritated me. Now, of course, this kernel, we most likely get, where do we have this? Somewhere, maybe I should actually, but we have, I wanted to say maybe I should pipe this into a log file, but we have Tmux based scrollback. Stream keeps dropping out. Yeah, this is bloody, this is not much I can do. Bloody DOCSIS cable stuff, I'm really sorry. 2200 freaking frames, not brought to you by Vodafone internet stuff here. XHCI, so we have here XHCI Renesas. To check that, let's patch our system mkinit.rd and put this in here. Let's see if that hopefully works. I hope we only need, I think, yeah, it should be actually all, because the Renesas thing I didn't patch and it still worked. So XHCI PCI, oops, also best without typo. This is probably much better solution than it. So this bloody, there you also see recurring randomly changes, upstream kernel changes. In how much time it wastes, right? Random 5,000 changes, 500 to 2,000 performance regression, random XHCI firmware stuff changes. It's like, yeah, in the meantime, first I wasted 30 minutes. The first time this occurred in 5.8 or 5.7, whatever, I wasted 30 minutes to figuring out what the freaking heck is going on with this bloody USB support stuff. And yesterday I again wasted 30 minutes again until I remembered the same thing was like, which is this was this bloody that we patched. So, let's do that again, and then commit this also. Let's just check what call I got. Very important update of the development of our baby. So let's scroll, search XHCI needs firmware not found to. Okay, this certainly is not. Maybe I don't have the latest firmware. Emerge package missing on Linux. Firmware, do I? Oh no, I have the latest firmware. So yes, so much to that. Good idea fails in practice because where the freaking heck is this firmware? Can't make this stuff up. I just recently updated this though. So it's not even that the firmware is very old. I remember I just some weeks ago so updated this. Now darn. That is really ridiculous. Firmware update. Yeah, Anthony is comparing Vodafone. Yeah, 2,500 stuff. What do we have here? Of course, recurring firmware update stuff. And in the microkernel, how would this improve? So not only BTRFS in a microkernel, in my opinion, you could update all the file system stuff independently. So if you have a new file system release, you could even switch back to the old one, but you can't easily do in monolithic Linux kernel like that. And also firmware, in my opinion, you would have a PCI driver and stuff. You would have like lib driver, whatever, and the firmware bundle services drivers. Much more sensible. So yeah, the bloody firmware is not even in here. I mean, what are they even kidding me? This is so ridiculous. So much to good idea. It's like, yeah, thank you very much. We're not the only one. Arch Linux. Where is the freaking firmware? Because it's not even freaking in the Linux kernel release stuff. Yeah, PCIe, not the only one. That's it's yeah, so I'm not fantasizing this stuff together as per usual. Where is the freaking firmware? Currently booting something as a workaround because mainline something serious. Where is something? So yeah, Avi is the only unsuccessful woman YouTuber distribution guy I know. Problem is all over the place and widespread. So maybe after all I should patch this after all, but this is also really silly. Where's the freaking firmware now? I want, it's like, yeah, exact code, because obviously T2, right? There is a reason why our website is #1 accessed by, who was it? Was it Red Hat, or I think it was Red Hat, or was it IBM, or was it both? Because, yeah, obviously. So yeah, actually I should have, I could not even come to my mind that we don't have this firmware. I mean, I could, as a workaround, I mean, so much to, yeah, I had an idea and then this failed. There would be different solutions. I mean, besides finding the bloody firmware. We could touch that so that the firmware is just an empty file and just like YOLO whatever. We could change our init stuff to like vital modules, even include them even if the firmware is not found. Although maybe this is not a very nice solution, because maybe it is better not to include this at all then. So yeah, 2020, people adding stuff to the Linux kernel that does not even have a freaking firmware release stuff. So yeah, if you find this firmware, what a shit, what a cluster F, that is ridiculous. I mean, I can make such stuff, I can't even make up, seriously. This is so silly. This is so silly, I have no words anymore. This Linux kernel quality theater really writes itself. Where is this bloody firmware? It looks like I must create a user space to a systemd for that block here. Tool upload firmware called UDP something available from GitHub. Works for me, use at your own risk. Apparently made it to the Linux kernel and not found the firmware extension based on the Renesas UPD. Appears to be somewhat problematic. Yeah, no kidding. Thank you very much. Let's see, do they have the firmware loader for UPD family USB controllers? The first firmware chips that is required might extract from the update tool for the Windows either Internet driver-based code script check and some technical details. Closing remarks. No, I cannot. So long story short, they patched support into loading firmware into the kernel, and the firmware is not publicly available, and breaking every USB 3 support thing. Breaking every other regular Joe user. I can't make this up. This is so sad. This is sad and ridiculous and here, so much to removing some custom patch to, oops, I think I can't remove it because there is not even, it's hilarious. It's, wow. Anthony says doing better job hosting. Oh yeah, better hosting firmware than it's like, yeah, I wish I would find this. mean, we could extract this, and I wonder whether they have exif download Linux 5.9 temp. Let's extract this to temp because we obviously have a working BTRFS, but let's not ruin write cycles of our precious SSD. Mod info, this was find, not find, grab. Obviously grab grabs faster in ROMFS anyway. No, they have 0 download instructions. It is silly. And if you wonder why we sometimes have some patches, this is exactly why. And then I want to make it so the only way, if we don't want, you know what, I don't like this custom patches too much. Let's then change our init.rd stuff, also drop frames and stuff. Let's maybe just change our init.rd stuff to include modules, even if the firmware is not there, because I don't want to waste another 30 minutes of my, I mean, wasting 30 minutes in this live stream is of course already 30 minutes. Yeah, so svn start package, also, so this is sbin mk init.rd and vital mods. So if firmware something, so firmware stuff, so if exist, then this here was for compressed case, we probably can delete. If not exist, let's see, if skip where's a copy, if exist, otherwise copy files or some link. Does it need firmware skipped? If 0 skipped, then here's a copy. Okay, so we can make add some code to this conditional here in terms of if it is not found, then if was a vital mod, so if this here if vital mod, then echo not found vital including anyway, else this stuff. How many spaces do we usually use? 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That probably, wait a second, do we have that probably should do. And why, in my opinion, the beauty of some shellcode scripting, in my opinion, this kind of administrative stuff, nothing wrong having this in shell. Some distributions have this in C, in my opinion, much more annoying to work with, and everything, probably recurring theme, also security and buffer over underruns and stuff. Everything not performance sensitive probably should not be in a statically compiled language, and more just-in-time compiling stuff to come soon. Let's see what happens now with this. XHCI-PCI needs firmware, not found vital, including anyway. That probably should do it. Let's maybe firmware. What else do we skip? So you see we skip here a lot of stuff. QLA, whatnot, lib something. So we include this, as you see here. I wonder if, I mean, I think this formatting is relatively readable. You see we skip here a lot of stuff, like even, even R8152 needs firmware. That is interesting. Yeah, so some of the stuff, although most people are not network booting, so, or at least, or if they are network booting, maybe not network root FS, you see a lot of like TG3, BNX, and all the stuff. So all the stuff we would just blow up the init-rd even further. So yeah, package-based Linux, what do we have here? Because we revert here some stuff. Init, mk init-rd, so let's copy that from the system. I had here some modifications. mk init-rd sh. So let's be careful. Or did I not hit probably this is what I wanted, actually, to be honest. I added, maybe I didn't commit this yet. Yeah, actually this is fine, to be honest. But let's maybe actually this works the other way around, to revert this. So this is I2C HID, this is I spotted this recently, and here we need also some flex in the future. This patch reverse X init-rd. Hello, mk init-rd. So does this white space stuff look right? Probably it does. Also, let's commit this together, in my opinion. Good to, if this belongs, even if into package. All right, this was XHCI of, although it does not really, it's the same topic, right? So it's like proof mk init-rd to copy vital XHCI HCDI over the PCI. PCI, even if firmware not found, removed custom Linux patch removing XHCI PCI thus it's also it's silly that this firmware requirement is in the XHCI PCI in reality it's in the XHCI PCI Renaissance loader. But now whatever, YOLO. Improved MK work for me and better stability and stuff. Let's double check. So that is that. The only thing that in the future, if they ever with Linux 6 change the KO extension, we could theoretically have this here with also KO extension, but otherwise not probably. So less custom patches and the more upstream just working TM, the better. And sometimes it takes a second try, and even the second try, like today, I'm surprised and baffled that this firmware is nowhere to found. So much to also, where's my? You have an idea, and even then the details are not what you expect, and even more bizarre and hilarious than you actually expected. So yeah, 3,373 drop frames. Really sorry with this garbage DOCSIS Vodafone cable stuff. Certainly a result not only their laziness of already 1.5 years of lack of maintenance and building up their system, but also the analog crisis of everyone sitting at home and only watching video just like this. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. So, how long are we autofocus? Hello, focus, focus. Camera likes this neck display as much as we. yeah, so details, more details, and all the stuff you can polish on your distribution. So over, not yet 1 hour, only 45 minutes. Hey, this was fast. Yeah, so already 3 times 30 minutes spent on this XHCI stuff. I hope you learned something. Roland is back, running PCIe 4 SSDs, RAID 0 for better performance, so should probably not upgrade. If you're running BTRFS, yeah, also if you run BTRFS, I think the Graver or someone posted his spinning, rotating storage thing. But yeah, if you run BTRFS, maybe post your performance data stuff there. Roland asks, is this BTRFS performance related to my setup? I don't know. Well, I tested this with a brand new, it's certainly more visible on the external USB 3 SSD. There it's instead of 14 seconds, nearly 5 minutes, which is certainly, well, 2000%, right? This is why I even tested this on a brand new PCIe 4 attached storage, completely empty, freshly formatted. So it's visible there. It's only 500 or 600% slower. So that is, that was, how much was it? That was 35-ish seconds instead of 5 or so. Something of that sort. So yeah, I can only test this here with what I have, but given our kernel stuff is not that special, I would expect that probably should affect everyone. But if you tested that yourself, then leave me in the comments below. What are your findings with that? Doing firmware, USB 3, JS, Linux, what most companies for doing, what running this done to the kernel. What are we drinking? Not a paid advertisement, but some good club mate, some mate teasing here, recommendable stuff. Maybe I should actually give them, drop them an email, ask whether they want to support this amazing IT channel, what a lot of German computer people drink on a daily basis, and certainly hopefully better than beer, and because no alcohol obviously, and too late for coffee and stuff. Anyway, that's it for this update. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like and subscribe for a freaking epic thread ripping AMD Ryzen 5950 review, a couple of other reviews, and then I also need to purchase new memory because performance obviously. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and to get new memory fast timings for your 5000 series Zen 3, because obviously otherwise you likely leave a lot performance on the table. From Geekbench stuff, by the way, what was it? Was it 5000? What was it that of? Right now I get 2000 something, so there is probably still 28 performance left on the table. When I compare my Geekbench to other Geekbench results there, so probably, yeah. Anyway, time for new memory, and I hope to see you soon for all the next videos and live streams to come. I have no idea if that is available. I think this is a German product, to be honest. I'm not sure if they export this to the States. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe you find some other mate there of not club and not this, but maybe there are other mate tea drinks there in the US. And I hope to see you soon for all of this fun stuff to come.